says, "What did you hit?" And Tony says, "Joe, I hit a cock-high fastball." And Joe didn't know what to say. Joe said, "No shit."
Oh man, what a weekend for old Peteski, for Peteski Rose. Do you want to hear that again? What did he hit? What was that pitch? Hold on. Let's listen.
And Tony says, "Joe, I hit a cock-high fastball."
A what? A cock-high fastball. Belt high is what they say in professional baseball. A belt high fastball. So Pete Rose is 81, and boy, oh boy, did he have himself a day yesterday. My man. We will get into that. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling, fantasy football preview coming up this week. You should not be drafting 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 this week. Don't draft. You should, if you care about fantasy football, be doing mock drafts if you want to win. You should listen to a number of podcasts. I will give fantasy advice throughout the week. You should be drafting 1 week from Saturday or later, between preseason games 2 and 3. That's when I would recommend a draft. If your league is drafting early, one of you is gonna get screwed. We'll talk about all of that, but first, I don't know, man. What do you want to lead with? Deshaun Watson again? God. Should I save this shit for Wednesdays? We're not going to say. We'll do it right now. We'll get it out of the way. So Peter Harvey, the guy that was appointed by Roger Goodell to suspend Deshaun Watson for significantly longer in this rigged game of theirs, it's going to come down. It's going to come down soon. My guess is it's going to be like $1 million fine and a 17-game suspension. We shall see. And it turns out Mike Florio, God, he is so great at non-football football stuff. You have to, anytime shit's going down, like during the pandemic, he was so great in explaining how the CBA was working. Listening to Mike Florio during the pandemic helped explain what the baseball labor situation was. It was incredibly helpful. Anytime he's like making picks, hilariously awful. His takes are insane. But this is the great stuff. He has found out that Peter Harvey, the guy that has been independently appointed by Roger Goodell, has a law firm that would love to do business with the NFL. So I would imagine that Peter Harvey is going to suspend Deshaun Watson for whatever Goodell thinks is right as a way to advertise for the firm. I mean, and I don't know why you wouldn't. Duh. Makes a ton of sense to me, man. I can't imagine Deshaun Watson playing football this year. The next time he steps on a field, he's going to get booed. And like the longer they delay this, the more people are going to remember when he steps on the field. And you know what? At the bottom of my heart, I think if karma is real, which in the NFL we know it's totally not, but if it is, the next time he plays, he's going to suck. My God, would that be funny? I hope he sucks. Fuck, that would be so funny. Cleveland, later this month, and this is real, who have Deshaun Watson, who sexually, allegedly, settled out of court, assaulted 20, 30 more, dozens of women. Cleveland, the city, is hosting the National Massage Therapist Convention in a couple weeks. Can't make it up. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Let's go through some training camp headlines. One headline, Zach Wilson caught a ball with his fingertips. Another headline, Jordan Davis completely annihilated a person. He just pushed his center back. I don't know if that center was Jason Kelce, and I don't know what the drill was, but it definitely looked cool. It was family weekend for most NFL teams. That means that they had some sort of weird scrimmage where kids and people could come and they meet and greet in the stadium and blah, blah, blah. This was great. This happened on Friday after the show. Trayvon Diggs got burned in a rep by I think a walk-on, like a rookie, somebody who's not good. Trayvon Diggs, of course, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL last year. By interception, by grade, he was up and down. He's kind of one of those guys, like interceptions made him look maybe like quite a bit better than he actually was. Well, he got absolutely roasted by a dude, I believe, who was an undrafted free agent, and everybody, I mean, it went viral. It was bad. He got cooked by this dude. And then everyone made fun of him. And so he deleted his Twitter. Gonna be a good year in Dallas. Cannot wait. That's a good headline right there. Do you have any other headlines from training camp? No, most of the training camp stuff is just everybody's in the best shape of their life. Hard Knocks starts tomorrow, so we're gonna get some storylines from Detroit, which will be fun for everybody. The preseason starts in earnest. I believe the next preseason game is either Thursday or Friday, and we'll talk about how to make money on the preseason coming up that day if you are a bettor. Carson Wentz. Here's what Ron Rivera had to say about Carson Wentz. And remember, the note on Carson Wentz is that he's so uncoachable. He thinks he's so good, but you can't coach him. He doesn't do what anybody tells him ever. Ron Rivera said, Carson Wentz has shown some inaccuracy, but we're not overly concerned. Love it. I love this franchise. God, Washington is amazing. They are truly the gift that shall never cease to give. Let's move over to baseball and how the New York baseball Mets are the greatest thing happening in sports right now. Edwin Diaz, who I believe is their closer, I'm only 90% sure. Is it time to care about it? I'm going to Google. Edwin Diaz. I don't know. I follow the Tigers, but baseball's tough. Is he a closer? I know he's a pitcher. I don't know. He's a pitcher. He's a relief pitcher. So he's got an entrance. The entrance went viral yesterday. It has 3.8 million views by SNY, which is some New York TV station, because his entrance song is filthy. Edwin Diaz, of course, a Latino, coming out to like what sounds like this kind of Latin 50s trumpet. I'm going to play the whole video for you here. I can't wait to get DCMA'd. But it is electrifying. Listen to this and just imagine a guy coming out to a full stadium to close out a game. Okay, we're going to try to play most of it. Here we go. And let's get to the part where he's walking out. There's a lot of wasted time. Okay, here we go. You hear that? Oh my God, this is filthy entrance music. I can't. There are two dope parts of baseball. One is walking up to the plate and crushing a home run. Number two would be being a closer. I can't wait for the playoffs because the Mets filmed this video as the sun was going down. It's probably an afternoon game that started at noon or 1, and they're wrapping up around 5 or 6 or something. It's like an afternoon game they're going to wrap up before the night game. I want that song played at 10:30 p.m. when they have, I don't know who's even good in baseball right now. Who's the Dodgers, and they got the Dodgers like with the series on the line, and Edwin Diaz is coming to close it out. I mean, listen to this. It is sick. Here it comes out of the gate. And can you just imagine? That's easily the scariest walkout music. So I forget that Trevor Hoffman for the Padres had Enter Sandman, which was dirty. Sandman, Time to Go to Bed. That's the sickest entrance music for a reliever I've ever heard in my life. What a cool twist. I always thought if I were ever good at baseball, I would do some sort of Elvis song or Johnny Cash song. That'd be fun. But it's all been overdone. You can just look to the WWE for inspiration for that. We do need to talk about this headline from the Wall Street Journal. So Daniel Vogelbach is a... they're doing it so dirty. This is so mean of them. He's a bigger guy. And I think he's like a DH and a first baseman. So there he is, right? Look at him. He's a big boy. Right, is that headline going to do it? The Wall Street Journal's SEO is not great, but so he. Oh my God! They just got him at the trade deadline, and I think he's just there to hit. I think he might be a first baseman, but Vogelbach is a bigger boy, and the Wall Street Journal. The headline is, the Mets' big strategy to win the World Series. Daniel Vogelbach isn't just baseball's burliest folk hero. He's also a key puzzle piece for the New York Mets. The big strategy to win. Which is like, hey, they got a fat guy. And he doesn't suck. Look at that. He's a bad man. Him running the bases over the weekend was just... It's majestic. I highly recommend. The Mets are going to be fun. The Yankees are falling off the face of the earth. We don't have to talk about that. I do not care about that. I think they're going to be just fine. Everyone thinks they're going to be just fine. The Premier League started over the weekend. Man United fans are in a tizzy. They lost. Tottenham Hotspur, my club, won. Man United, what's really interesting is that a lot of these clubs, or a handful of these clubs, have owners who dabble in American ownership, including Man United. The Glazer family owns Manchester United, one of the best and most proud football clubs in all of the world. For my childhood, they were the club to beat. For basically, I want to say like 95 to 2010, they were perhaps the best club in the world. That was like in the high days of Wayne Rooney. They had Cristiano Ronaldo back before he went to Spain, and he went to Italy, and now he's back for Man United, and they're okay, but they really suck now. The Glazers own them, and Man United wants the Glazers to sell their team. And remember, Stan Kroenke, who owns the Rams and the Avalanche, owns Arsenal, one of the most proud clubs in international football. And he, what are they? They're Premier League. They're always like top 7. Man United and Arsenal haven't been really good in quite a while. Arsenal's back up on the top. Those English fans of Man United and Arsenal, respectfully, want the owners to sell the teams. But the owners in America are so successful, it's bananas. The Glazers just won the Super Bowl with the Bucks, and the Kroenkes just won the Super Bowl with the Rams and the Stanley Cup. But they suck at soccer, and they're so mad. These guys are the worst owners in sports. Like, no, they're the best owners in sports. It's just they're just making it very clear how little they give a fuck about soccer. It is a bummer. Watching Man United fall off the face of the earth for year after year after year now is wild. The fact that, like, when you look at teams like Tottenham and Chelsea, be like, yeah, man, you can't compete with those teams. It's the sentence you never thought you'd say. But here we are. Premier League kicked off over the weekend, and now we have sports in the morning. College football is coming down the pike. We'll do a college football preview. I would imagine the teams that are always good are going to be good, but I suppose we can dive a little deeper into that. Fantasy football preview coming up later this week. And should I do preseason bets in terms of who I think is – because I had some great takes last year, like Cooper Kupp and whatnot. I had some really terrible takes as well. So maybe we'll do some bets in terms of, like, awards and who's going to do what. There are some teams I see very clearly, other teams I don't. I think I mentioned multiple times how much I hate the Colts, for example. I think the Colts are going to be, as our friends across the pond say, rubbish. I think the Colts are going to be rubbish. Dog shit, another good term for it. So maybe we'll do some of that. But the fantasy football preview is coming up, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. Just some tips for me from consuming all this content. And I'm not a great fantasy football player, but I know what I'm supposed to do to win, even though I don't do it. Like, rate, review, subscribe. I'll be back and better than ever tomorrow morning. You can follow me. It's all available in the notes and blah, blah, blah. It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back in the mornings.